Your dog can pick its own name out of a crowded room better than a 1-year-old child can. And there is an exact volume where that ability switches off completely. You're at the park. Your dog is 30 feet out, nose down, working something more interesting than you. You say their name. Nothing. You say it louder. Still nothing. That gap isn't disobedience. It's a threshold, and you cross it more often than you'd guess. What I want you to understand is the other thing, that there is a specific point where your dog stops being able to find their own name, and you cross it more often than you'd guess. Stay to the end, and you'll know exactly where that line sits in your week. One small thing first. Next time you call your dog, notice the order of your words. Do you say, Tahoe, sit, or just, sit? Hold your answer. It comes back, and it matters more than it sounds. So here's the first thing. Picture your dog in a small booth with 3 walls. Your dog is sitting with you, and out of a speaker on the wall comes your dog's name, spoken by a woman your dog has never met, with 9 strangers talking over the top of it. Your dog turns anyway. 20 dogs did exactly that. Mallikarjan and Newman, Animal Cognition, 2019. To get in, a dog had to have carried the same name for 10 months, no recently renamed rescues, and any dog whose owner had noticed hearing trouble was out. Each dog heard 2 streams, its own name, and a foil, another dog's name. Your dog's equivalent listened 8.3 seconds to its own, 7.2 to the stranger's. Look at what that rules out. No person in the room to read. No eye contact, no crouch, no hand slapping a thigh. None of the 1,000 tells you leak when you call your dog. Whatever your dog was answering, it wasn't you. Second thing, and this one stings a little. You probably believe your dog comes to you because of how you sound. The warmth, the rise at the end, the voice you'd be embarrassed to have recorded. Test that. The researchers didn't grab any old name for the foil. They matched it. Same syllable count, same stress pattern, built to sound as unlike the real name as possible. A dog named Henry got the foil Sasha. Same rhythm, same shape in the air, completely different sounds. If your dog only had the tune, Henry and Sasha would be the same event. They weren't. So the melody isn't carrying it. Your dog is doing acoustics. Try this tonight. Say your dog's name once, flat. No rise, no music, the way you'd read it off a form. Watch the ears, they still move. Third thing, your dog is better at this than a human child. The researchers made it harder. Not with static, with 9 women reading out of books, mixed together. The blur you get on a restaurant patio, where you can hear that people are talking but can't pull out a word. Then they turned that blur up until it was exactly as loud as your dog's name. 0 decibels of difference. 20 more dogs. Your dog's equivalent still found it. 7.5 seconds against 5.25, a wider gap than the easy version. Here's why that number matters. That same 9-voice babble, that same setting, has been run on human babies. 1-year-olds fail it. At 13 months, a baby can pick out their own name when it's a little louder than the crowd, and loses it completely the moment the crowd catches up. Your dog does not lose it. Sit with that for a second. The animal in your house, who has never had anyone explain anything, is better than a toddler at hearing its own name in a crowded room. Fourth thing, and this is the one that's actually about your Tuesday. They turned the babble up 5 more decibels. Now the noise was louder than the name. 22 dogs. It vanished. Your dog's name stopped being any more interesting than a stranger's. And watch what else broke, because a tips video would skip this. In those same sessions, the dogs also stopped preferring their name on the quiet trials. The hard noise didn't just cost them the loud calls. It cost them the whole sitting. The authors are unusually straight about it. They say plainly they cannot be certain why. Maybe it got frustrating and the dogs checked out. Maybe the babble was irritating enough that they started listening to the room instead of the words? Nobody knows. That's the answer in the paper. Now put your own life around that number. Ambient noise on a city street runs about 70 decibels, roughly 5 above ordinary conversation, almost exactly the condition where these dogs lost their own name. That's not an exotic environment. That's your sidewalk. That's your vacuum. That's your dog park at 5 on a Saturday, 40 dogs, and you standing there saying a name into it 3 times, louder each time. You weren't being ignored. You were being out-volumed, and the extra volume doesn't buy you what you think it buys you. It buys you the opposite. Every time you shout the name into noise, it can't win. You teach your dog that the name sometimes means nothing. Do that often enough, and you spend the one word you actually needed, and the day you really need it, at a road, at a gate, it goes nowhere. That's how a recall silently stops working. Not in one bad moment, in 100 small ones, where the name meant nothing, and you find out it's too late at the exact moment you needed it most. Watch for this the next time you're out. The moment you catch yourself repeating the name at rising volume, that's the moment you've already crossed the line. 5th thing, and it's the one I can't stop thinking about. If your dog isn't hearing the love in your voice and isn't hearing the melody, what is a name to your dog? When dogs listen to a continuous stream of speech, they track which sounds tend to follow which, the statistical seams in the stream. It's the same thing human infants do when they're working out where one word ends and the next begins. That's the Family Dog Project in Budapest, in current biology. Sit with what that means for your house. Nobody handed your dog its name as a unit. Your dog heard the same messy river of human noise everyone in your home hears, and cut a piece out of it, and decided that piece was about them. Your dog did that. You just kept saying it. I'll mark one edge, so you know which parts are solid. There's a famous 2016 paper reporting that dog brains handle word meanings separately from intonation. It gets quoted constantly. A correction was later issued, reversing left and right. It may still be right. It is not as settled as the headlines were. One last thread, and it turns into something you can use. When the team pooled the 40 dogs who succeeded and split them by whether they worked, search and rescue, service, therapy, one retired police dog, the working dogs looked better. Longer on their own name, shorter on the foil. Honest caveat, that difference was marginal, right at the edge of meaning. The authors flag it as a hint, not a result, and there were no differences between breed groups at all. But their guess about why is the useful part. Working dogs usually have one call name, one word, used the same way, especially in the field. Your dog has a name, and a nickname for the nickname, and a voice you use when they've been bad. And you often skip the name entirely. You say, sit. You don't say, Tahoe, sit. So, 3 things, all free. 1. Pick one call name and protect it. Not because nicknames are bad, because consistency is the one variable the researchers themselves pointed at. One word your dog hears the same way, from everyone in your house, every time. 17 affectionate variations don't build a bond. They erode the one signal that has to work. 2. Name first, then the instruction. Tahoe, sit. The name is the switch. The word after it is the request. Flip the order, and you're asking for a behavior from a dog whose attention you haven't collected yet. 3. Stop spending the name into noise you can't win. If the background is louder than you, volume is not the move. That's the study's own failure condition. Close the distance. Get your voice on top. And if you use a whistle or a clap for recall in loud places, this is why that isn't a shortcut. It's an adaptation. Give it a month, and the difference is plain. Before, a name you repeat 3 times at the park and half mean it. After, one word, said once, that your dog has never once heard go nowhere. One flag so you know which is which. Saving the name for good outcomes instead of nail trims is standard behavior advice, not something these experiments tested. Reasonable, not measured. So, the park. 30 feet of grass, a name that didn't land, and you standing there feeling like the one who got left. Your dog was in a room with 9 voices in it. Not a disobedient room, a loud one. And somewhere in that noise, a sound your dog cut out of your speech all by itself. One shape, out of everything you have ever said in that house, was still the sound they'd have turned for if it had only been a little louder than everything else. Tell me your dog's name, just the name, in the comments. I read them. And if your dog's name landed, but your pointing finger doesn't, that's next. Wolf pups raised by hand, by humans, from birth, who still cannot follow a human point the way your puppy could at 8 weeks. It's the cleanest evidence we have that some of this was built in long before your dog ever met you. Watch that one, or you'll keep thinking your dog is choosing not to understand you.